Life gets crazy sometimes, doesn't it? It gets kind of out of hand. It gets tough to handle. We start losing grip on things. Maybe we start losing some friends, or we lose a pet, or just family situations. They just get harder and harder, and it's like walking through thick mud in a fog. And we just say, I don't want to do this anymore. And no matter how hard we try, we just feel we can't get it right. We're just not good enough. We keep messing up. We lose hope. We lose confidence. We get bogged down. And often that's how our life with Jesus gets sometimes. Walking with God, living for God, it gets tough. It gets hard. It gets all muddy and foggy. The road that we set out on when we experienced God and made a decision to follow Him, all of a sudden we realize this road has got bigger rocks than we thought. It's more twisty. It's a dry climate in places, and in other places just pouring down hard. We feel like we don't see the sun enough. We say, I don't know, I didn't really understand what this road was all about. This is unexpected. I don't know if I can do this. The reality is we can't. Because it's not about what we can do. It reminds me of this story. When I was a kid, I wanted to be the best basketball player I could be, just like my older brother. At one point, there was me and my brother. We were at our church, and the church had a gym, which was awesome. But we were trying to do this like slam dunk contest, and but because we were a little shorter and the nets were a little higher, we decided to set up some chairs so that we could jump off them and dunk. And I remember we had been doing this for a little while, and so we were warm and kind of sweaty guys. And I remember one time I was just running straight up, and I'm like, I'm gonna win it with this dunk. And I'm gonna push it over the top. And I ran, and I jumped off the chair, and I pulled my hands back behind my head, ready to do this big, massive two-handed slam. And I jammed it down, and I grabbed the rim, and I hung on to it. And I swung forward, and as I swung forward, I realized my hands were a lot sweatier than I had thought. And my hands slipped off the rim while I was horizontal with the ground. And I fell about 10 feet down onto a cement floor, straight on my back. I gotta tell you, I was limping for weeks. It's a miracle I didn't smoke my head and do more damage than I actually did. I mean, I had trouble sitting down for a while. But, it kind of took a bit of my confidence away. Kind of messed up some things for me. I kind of realized I wasn't as cool as I thought I was. I wasn't as good at basketball as I thought I was, or at least jumping off a chair. And I ended up limping for weeks. Kind of thinking to myself, man, did I ever mess up? We're ungraceful a lot of the time, aren't we? In fact, most of the time. Probably the times we think we are graceful, we're actually not graceful. We make a lot of missteps, a lot of mistakes, and all of our shortcomings and our failures get us down. But here's the thing, is that despite our mess ups, despite all that stuff, God continues to show us grace. He's actually the one that helps us live in grace and actually live for Him. We are actually taught by grace. And we find that it's not actually about what we think about ourselves. It's really about what God thinks about us. In Titus 2, we are told that God gives us grace as we walk for Him. Listen to this. It says, "For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us to renounce ungodliness, to say no to anything that's not of God and of the world, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age. We're supposed to live for God right now, but the only way we can do that is to live through the grace of God. I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean, God has a plan for our lives, but He knows we can't do it by ourselves, that we need His grace. In fact, He gives us such a huge mission that if we looked at ourselves, we'd be like, how on earth are we ever going to accomplish this? And if we try it alone, we are absolutely crushed by it. We not only need the grace of God to save us, but we need the grace of God to equip us, to empower us to live for Him. We need God's grace to live for Him because we are extremely ungraceful creatures of His.